Good morning, good afternoon, good night, as it corresponds. Um, Here there's a galactic wizard called Aníbal that has been involved in all this thing of the Sincronario de la Paz for 25 years. And today especially I decided to record this video because today is planetary wind. That was the perfect guide for the planetary wizard. That was my 28th anniversary when I finally got to meet personally with Balloon Votan and Bolonik in Picard King Seminary in the end of 99. And that moment changed my life as I understood why I always wanted to speak English as something that was more important than what I could understand in that moment. Then I realized in Picard King that I have learned English to be interpreter of Balloon Botan, from English to Spanish, that it's easier than trying to say all this in English. But as I know that all of you belong to the 1320 tribe, you will forgive my mistakes and you will try to understand properly what I could say wrongly. And basically what I came here to say is that the noosphere is all about us. There's no separation between the biosphere and the noosphere unless we would understand so. And as a matter of fact, we are the neurons of the brain of the earth that understands that the last stage of its own development was to develop some neurons with an appearance of human beings that would improve their consciousness whenever they discover the self-reflective discovery of the law of time that controls and organizes all the other laws that belong to space. We've been developing laws of space because we thought that reality was space-time. And in that order resides the obsession with the here-now-ness. But as a matter of fact, you've never heard of yang-yin. It's been always yin-yang. So the mystery is first. The yin, the time, the mystery comes first. And then we manifest it as a momentary condensation we call space and matter and energy or whatever we can call, because it's already gone. And so that fleeting condensation of time that then becomes this space here manifested comes from an order that is more important than the manifestation. And so the natural order, as Vernadsky, Teilhard de Chardin, Charles Leroy, and of course Balloon Votan, José Argüelles discovered, is beginning in time. So if the order goes to the right order, then we would be living in time-space and not in space-time. We've been always living in the now-here-ness, never in the here-now-ness, because it's never been yang-yin, it's been always yin-yang. And so as time precedes space, I even wrote over there that space is a side effect of time. So the noosphere is, as a matter of fact, what we do with time. That is, as a matter of fact, what is time doing through us, because we don't think as a yang thing. We channel as a yin thing. So we don't really think. We are being thought by the earth. And as that is the most revolutionary discovery in the human history, is logical until a certain point that everybody resists or fights against it or doesn't really understand in the beginning. But as time goes passing by and improving its manifestation into space, that is us, then we begin to develop a self-consciousness that after lots of meditation realizes that the thoughts that we thought that we would be thinking are really thinking us, as we open ourselves to channel these kind of thoughts or those kind of thoughts. And then when we begin to question ourselves and say, okay, so what can I do about it after a long time of meditation and yoga practice and spiritual practices, whatever the form they take, because devotion is not really located in the form, but in the meaning, in the inside thing. So that's why this thing of the internet is really useful if we don't waste it, because it's useful to give some good communication, but if we change our own level of channeling by just getting different inputs, then we ourselves become artificial intelligence. And if it's artificial, it's not intelligence, it's something else. It's just the gathering of knowledge that is completely useless if we don't take in account the wisdom that that knowledge might need to improve our real experience of this wonderful and singular life, that we never had another and we'll never have any other thing that wouldn't be any now. And so if now is bigger than here, why do we put it later? Why do we place it later? Why do we say yang yin? We've never heard yang yin because it's never been yang yin. It's not space-time, it's time-space. And in that sense, we may realize that we are being thought by the earth, that is being thought by the sun, that is being thought by the galaxy, that is being thought by the goddess, that in my taste is feminine, is not masculine. Because if they really insist so much that God is masculine, it should be a lie, you know. If it's true, you don't need any marketing. And all the marketing that we've been going through since we started talking and recording our thoughts that are not ours, then we realize that the more they show off something, is the less they really have it, because truth doesn't need any marketing. As a matter of fact, if it needs marketing, it's because it's not true. So the love time came to stay because it's a bigger truth that orders the reality in its proper way, that I insist is time-space, it's not space-time. And so it's now here-ness, because yesterday was today. Today has been today the whole day, as in your space, as in mine, and tomorrow will be today again. If it's not like that, never pay attention to us anymore. But tomorrow you will wake up and you will see that you've never escaped the now. You've never been in a not today position, you know. So the other detail about that is that then time exists on its own, naturally, but you don't have any space without time. You know, you cannot grasp a play of energy and space into energy and matter manifesting into any space if you don't have time. But you have many times where you don't need any space to get it manifested. As a matter of fact, me as a wizard, I sleep 12 hours a day, because it's the jaguar thing, the cat thing, you know. A cat sleeps 16 hours a day. I sleep 12. I can get rid with 11 or 10, but not less than that. And so then you realize that we are almost half and half. In the fourth dimension, We are pure time. We don't need any space to manifest it. It's all there, and it's happening anyway. So my point here is that as we are not separated from the noosphere or the biosphere, then the Homo noosfericus, that is beginning to grow after having a really nightmare trying to become Homo journalisticus, all of us talking heads in internet, then we transcend the Homo sapiens to manifest humanity that may understand that our consciousness is not separated from time, that is improving it all the time, and then we realize that the other things that we call cities and we call Babylon and we call civilization and we call governments and taxes and police and lawyers and banks and money and this and that is no longer something that we can rely on just because we now discover that it's fake. And once you discover a lie, you would never listen again the person that told you that lie. So why do we still relying on governments and banks and institutions that have been lying to us the whole history? Just because we are too weak to accept it, and just because we are too comfortable with half-truth, we became so Hippocratic that we stand everything because we think we cannot change it, and that is ego. And if you don't really make a commitment into practicing spiritually any form of transcendence, then you will be always complaining about that you are powerless to go away from those institutions that get you trapped in their machine of making money to spend it in things that never satisfied you, because if they would satisfy, I would be in there too. But if the people get fatter and fatter and fatter and they're never satisfied, there should be something wrong in that, don't you think? So if we continue to apologize ourselves and move the shoulders like that and say, okay, no, I cannot change it, I'm too weak to that. The Galactic Wizard is too crazy to abandon Babylon 25 years ago. I'm not a Galactic Wizard, so I cannot do it. Then that's your chance to participate on the resistance of the self-manifestation of the noosphere that anyway, even by thinking that we are few, we have the support of all the plants and all the birds and all the other animals in the world. So when we sing Imagine of John Lennon, that was my transit the year I get to know Balloon Votan and Bolonique and all this real transformation begun, we many times are kind of ashamed to sing it because we think we are few, those dreamers that dream a better world. But as a matter of fact, we are the majority because we have the support of all the plants and all the animals. And it's right now beginning to rain. And I almost broke everything. Never mind. There should be a good reason for that. And so if we move our asses out of the big Babylon, then we may understand why we did it. It won't happen upside down. It won't happen first that you would realize why you should get out, and then you get out. No. First you get out, then you understand why. And so as all my complex here of lights and technology support have been falling apart, I will show you that I have bananas beside strawberries, and I'm communicating with you just with a broken solar panel in the middle of nowhere in Brazil, by even being Argentinian and even being what we used to consider a poor guy that has no fortune at all and has built this crazy house just with his own hands, then you may understand that everything is possible. And maybe if I did it this way, it's just to show that it's possible, and then you can improve it. So thanks so much for your patience and understanding, and become the noosphere as running away from Babylon one more guy, please, soon. So love, stay tuned, and keep it up. Keep on keeping on, as Balloon Botan said to me. Thanks so much. Bye.